演讲。
Hi, how are you? I've been here 2 years ago. Anybody were there 2 years ago? No?
2年前有听过和泰路建筑师的演讲的有没有 ？Only few of them. Yes, only few of them.
Okay, good to see you again. I'm an architect from Seoul. Very nice to meet you. Today I give a lecture about my work, and then I will give you the brief of competition brief. So my lecture is related with the brief. So okay, the lecture title is called Architecture of Intelligence. So I am the architect actually using many latest technology into converge into the architecture. That's so yeah, I having a practical scale. That's my office. My practical scale is short for Sustainable Competition Architecture Lab, scale. So we doing a lot of bring how to merging the technology into architecture and making new kind of value. So we are trying to not just working with the physical world of architecture, physical side of architecture, material side of architecture, but also immaterial side of architecture, like information and data, and try to converging these two different worlds together, and that makes open up new possibility like flexibility and adaptability into architecture. Also, we are working with not just spatial element, but also the temporal element into the architecture. So, highway. Waze is my very good friend from AA. Okay. So time is very important in my work. Okay, I started this fourth industrial revolution. Why this is important? Because in the Middle Age, architecture always like this, very decorative, a lot of it's very different than now, right? And after the first and second industrial revolution, our way of producing products and is very much changed. So almost 100 years ago, 1910, this is the work of Adolf Loos called Steiner House. You may study it in the history class. So suddenly this kind of new modernism buildings appear like hundreds of years ago, which is kind of a revolution in terms of our living city is completely changed, right? But before this kind of a building is appeared, now we see this kind of buildings everywhere, right? But before Adolf Loos, before the modernist and there was none like this exist. Like this is like an invention, this is like a revolution, and our cities change after this. So that's we call revolution. So our city, our way of life, our living is change dramatically. So because industrial revolution, first and second, is about how to produce atom, like a basic element of material, how to producing way of production and materiality is about this revolution. But we have gone through like a third revolution, called informational revolution. It's about internet, yeah. It's about data, information, and bit. But our physical world, our city, is not changed at all, right? We still producing the same kind of building. Architecture remains same. Nothing changed because the third revolution is about bit, information. It's not affect our real life. But the importance of a fourth industrial revolution is this. Now the atom and bit is merging. So this internet world, the information world, is merging into our real world, physical world. So atom and bit now is merging. So that's why it's important, because of this have a power to transform our real life, our space, our architecture, and the city. So that's why, and things that become change, I call also paradigm shift. Our city is very much in conflict. A lot of competition, a lot of components and players in the city. They compete. They don't collaborate. So one win, the other lose. This is called zero-sum game. Zero-sum game is people think they have a very limited resource, so they fight each other to get the resource. But this fourth industrial revolution world and the city should have a collaboration. They have to find a way of a win-win situation. It's called positive sum game. So even though it's more important to be collaborate than compete. It's like when you collaborate with your friend, you can have more power, more resource, and you can do more. You can create more value. It's called positive thinking. So I think our urban situation have to should go to like positive sum city. Within the city, we have citizens and architecture and infrastructure. They all should, instead of competing each other, they have to collaborate to create emergent value for it. So it's very theoretical, but if you apply in architecture, in city, the present city and then future city, they need a lot of more resource required. We need more housing, we need more space. We have to build a lot of things. But our cities are limited and space is limited. So we create this positive sum added value with this kind of strategy, like more with less. So which means we can have a less space, but we can use more function, more use out of it. We can have less resource, we can have a more diverse city. the less energy, you can create more efficiency, something like that. So also the strategical adaptability is really important because if nothing change and space become useless anymore, so architecture can be adaptable to user and context. So our modern life, and once 르코르뷔지에 in 1923, he said like this: modern life demands and waiting for a new kind of a plan, both for the house and the city. That's what he said almost 100 years ago, right? And because when in this time of year, it's like a first and second industrial revolution. That kind of a new modern architecture emerged. Now we have a fourth industrial revolution, right? So let's replace this. Our contemporary life demand in year 2019 demand waiting for new kind of a plan. This plan is also architecture drawing, the plan, architecture plan, also the plan for future. We need a new kind of a house plan and architecture for this city. Actually, this is his invention. He invents apartment block, right? The unité d'habitation. He actually this is his invention. We all live in this kind of apartment block. And he said also this, a house is machine for living in. A house is machine for living in. Because his age is very much machine age. The machine produced in factory to making mass production of all the commercial goods and everything. So building also produced from the factory, and he thinks the house is a machine. Because machine is a purpose always. Machine is house is to solve our life. This is machine. That's what he said. And he show us his machine for living in. This house is an incredible house, isn't it? It's the Villa Savoie, right? And this is like a first ever pilotis. He invented pilotis. Pilotis is this kind of he lifted up the main living area in second story, and ground floor he opens up to the car. Because the year 1923 is incredible time for new car is emerged. Car is like a new kind of thing bring into the city. So he actually deal with how to architecture and building, dealing with the car. So he solved this problem, how to bring car into the house. So he actually invented this pilotis. So car going through and then drop the person at the pilotis and he can go up. And he also invented this horizontal window, which is never existed before. This is his invention. It's an incredible invention because structurally, the horizontal strip cannot be possible before his invention. Because he invented domino prototype, remember? That actually free up the building elevation from structure. That's his invention. It's an incredible invention. Because before this building, there's no building have a horizontal street. And also he invented this rooftop garden. Rooftop garden never exists. Can you believe? Yeah, rooftop garden never existed before 르코르뷔지에의, right? Because nobody think about how using the rooftop before he. Before 르코르뷔지에의, nobody think roof is usable. He this is his plan. This is a pillow key and living space, rooftop garden, domino prototype, and horizontal street. It's incredible invention of 100 years ago when this second revolution, industrial revolution, everything changed. Society and economy, everything is so much changed. So he now within from 100 years past, right? We still have this kind of, we still using his prototype. We still using remaking similar things. But machines evolve, right? Our machine, we have IoT, we have AI, we have now robot, we have blockchain, and we have everything. Right? It's 100 years past the fourth industrial revolution. So actually, you can say, okay, the machine for 2019 can be like an AI robot. The house can be like this, it can be replaced, if you replace. So we need to, it's time actually to reinvent for using our latest technological advance, reinvent architecture or housing or house. That's the my point of lecture today. So I said intelligence architecture earlier. So I think this is like a 4-step of intelligence can be bring to architecture. So the first step is controlling building by user interface, right? Like this, like remote control or like voice activation. User interface, we can control the building space by smartphone application, something like that. Now, the smartphone from Apple and Google, they're using all this user interface. So user interface is like a basic level, and second level is like a responsive. The building can be responsive to people and the climate and context. The responsive is second level, and third is a more intelligence level. It can be think by itself and can adaptable to the situation. And the final level is AI design building. Building can be designed by AI. So I will show you example of what it means. So from my work, this is adaptable space controlled by user interface. Actually, this is my office. Where it was here. This is my office. We have like hexagonal space, and it's very open. But when we need a meeting room, the office transforms into the meeting room. So we have a wall wall is up here, and a projection. So we don't the room transform into meeting room. And when the clients comes in, it becomes exhibition space. Right? Okay, and then after clients was happy about the design, and then we need the rest. So space become game room. And then I won the contract, so I brought all my friends to party, so they become club, the party space. So one small space can be transformed to many different things. So using I have my own smartphone application we made for this space, so I can control the space is what I want. And second example is adaptive workspace. Idea is this one of these is it has this robotic arms and everything, and it moves and changes form, and then it creates a different configuration of a space. That's the okay. This is called living map architecture, and have all these modules. They have modules stacking up, and then these modules are where people live in, and then in ground floor they have a co-working space, and this co-living space, co-working space, and this co-living space, they all connected to the other cells, and ground floor is co-living. It also can be using can have different functions, exhibition, like that, and the rooftop is like they meet other people. It becomes like a communal space. And third example is how building can be responsive to the people and the climate. And the idea of this is a science museum in Korea. So I want this building to responsive to the weather and then the visitors. Building is not just they're not static. It's kinetic. It have a skin is responsive to the weather, like a creature. And then this interior also responsive to the. So every time you go in there, in different time of year, the building look different. Okay, and then I start working with the AI. This is the project. I working with a startup. They develop this machine learning technology to identify from sound what the sound is about. So using that technology, I actually create generating music for spatial atmosphere. So which means when this machine learning algorithm detect some sound, and then I can generate ambient sound for that situation. So it's like a condensed performance. So the actress, there's a house, and this algorithm detecting what's happening at the space, and that she's walking, and the rain comes in, and this sound is changed to enhance her experience in space. It's like a background music in the movie, right? The movie, the music always enhance the situation and scenario. So it's like a real-time generative background music for life. I did this for test the idea of how architecture can be real-time, adjust and adaptable to the context of use of daily life. So I start working with this project I call I Am House, but its idea is adaptable to daily conditions. So it looks like box, but it opens up in the morning, and when its friends comes in, and all this our building already dealing with lots of different conditions, right? So this house is dealing different conditions, different situation of daily weather change, and then change of use. Like when with the family, with the friends, they want a theater, a party. The house is set up on this, but in real time. So house is like a living machine. So this adaptable space is the house knows what's going on in the space, what's going on. So the house is adjusting the atmosphere, and when it's lounge, guest comes in, playroom, party space. Also the house changes the relationship between interior to the exterior. The outside world, inside world, the relationships keep changing. one space, because we have very limited space, right? Our physical world is very limited. So I want to using same space with more views, and this views, so one space can be transformed into a very different space. So instead of just moving on to the other room, the same room is changed. So I have a lot of kinetic elements, lighting, media, sound. All this multimedia I control by AI, machine learning algorithm. We also develop not just design the house, but also develop software of the house, which so this is like it's not rendering; it's just a real video of the house. The house getting know its master over the time, knows better and better. So in every different situation, the space transform into suit that specific situation. So daytime look like this. It's not that big house. It's my son, and it opens up and closes. But sometimes we have moon rising into the space, and even if you have a jellyfish in the house is very much different. So this is like a white box, and people don't recognize it's even a house because there's no door and nothing window. So many people just pass by, but it transforms into when it opens up like that. And so I don't want. I want a house, building architecture can be. I think can be adaptable in every different condition. Okay, this is the last project I want to show. This is so I think the final. The AI can be design our city, and this is actually the exhibition I did in 9 years ago, 2010, in Venice Biennale. This is trailer. Okay, in this city, every house in this city is different because we are all different. I think that it so makes sense, doesn't it? Why we have to live in the same house? Because I am different than my neighbor, right? But we are living something wrong in this city because we live in this homogeneous, boring apartment block. Why don't we live in a? Why don't we design the city? Is everybody have a, because everybody different lifestyle, so every house should be different. I think that so makes sense, isn't it? So I developed smartphone app in 2010. I think I'm the first architect who developed smartphone application. I think I'm sure about it. Because so I instead of just making imaging some normal household to, I asked every citizen, who are you, and what do you want, what kind of lifestyle you want to live. So this is to asking whether you're single or couple, whether you're dependent, your age, your income, your transportation, and also this is 6 axis of lifestyle axis. So whether I want to be more like entertainment, outdoor lifestyle, art and music, education, work, and party, and this 6. So I like it. I enjoy more outdoor with the entertainment and something like that. So, and then it create this parametric algorithm from this input to design everybody's house and the building and then the master plan. This is the application. So it's actually a walking application. So using this, you see this iPhone 3 design. So you enter your household type and lifestyle preference. Then this app design in real time your house. Because everybody is different lifestyle, so have all these different houses generate. And then using this instead of a top-down approach, I created bottom-up algorithm using all this information data. Create the master plan of this city and this city is different. So the different population statistics. So yeah, that's what I mean for intelligence of architecture and how we have to working with the technology to redefine our new way of life, lifestyle and living. This is now is the end of the lecture. So after, if you have any question, I will answer, and then I will introduce the competition brief. Thank you very much.
和泰硕建筑师的先一个演讲，那我们先就这个演讲，大家有没有什么问题要提问吗？有什么好奇的？和泰硕建筑师算是很前卫的一位建筑师，他基本上把建筑师在设计房子的某些的权利，等于说透过他现在所有的 App 跟一些工具是释放给他的业主，所以他基本上也试着在挑战这个 所以业主跟建筑师之间在做设计上的这种合作关系啊，有吗？现场看到有提问的这个同学或老师们，有吗？Okay. I have just a simple question from my own. Do you develop all the tool by yourself, or do you actually collaborate with other company or party? Because it's actually a very huge project in different kinds of, because you have to access to all kinds of technology, dealing with different problems. So how do you collaborate in your?
Yes, the question I actually like when we design a building, we have several stages, right? We have like a schematic design, and then we have detailed design. We have a construction documentation, something like that. Right? So in my office, design and develop all the not just architecture but also software to like about you can make something half the way before the construction documentation, something like that. So the proof of concept, proof of works, that kind of software we develop. So I actually doing many kind of interactive exhibition, media exhibition in the museum, and me and my staff do everything. All this connection of IoT connection, network, and algorithm. But we also collaborate with musician, and also we collaborate with more professional software developer. We also. So, but the conceptual stage and the schematic design and schematic software development we all do in-house. And that includes the proof of a concept that can be even exhibited at the exhibition. Also, the house I show you, for I Am House, we do all that in-house. So, but I have a network of my scientists, software engineers, and we all ready for collaboration.
So they are part of your staff and your architecture firm?
The main my staff also not just design but also write coding.
Okay.
They develop software. Yeah.
所以要在何太说这个老师的事务所工作不容易啊，都是还懂得开发自己的工具，对。那现在很多事务所其实里面我刚刚有提过，它的 R&D 部门其实越做越多事情。以前大概是着重在建筑材料跟工法，现在好像都越来越多样化的这个 research and development 这样的工作了。OK， 那大家都没有其他问题了吗 ？Any question？ 好。Okay, yes. Then maybe we can move on to the competition.
Okay. Do you have brief? No, not yet.
Yeah. They all have their own.
Okay. So the competition, the title is Housing on Commons 2023. I just thought it's good to rephrase. The House of Commons is like a parliament in UK, right? So I just thought it's a good name. So Commons is like a it's like a shared living or shared life, shared economy, and shared society. This kind of idea we call commons. And 2023 is a year 100 years after past when Corbusier's first state house is machine for living in that was 1923. So in 2003 is only like 4 years after, like a very recent future. How we inventing new housing in using latest technology. And because we have in the urban, we have many problems in worldwide. I don't think it's not just one specific city, but many cities dealing with this kind of problem. Well, we have a gentrification problem. So suddenly this value created, and then and when this city district becomes popular, and then somehow, and then after a few years, and every price goes up, and the original player, they make this place popular, they have to be all leave because it's rent is expensive. So gentrification is a very problem in economy side, because there's an unfair distribution of value creation in the city. And also this, we have this, in society, we have a problem of loneliness. The more and more people, they don't marry. We have an incredible number of single household, right? How many are you living by yourself? Single. include 懂。
including 中，你们现在包含自己住的自住，就是在外面住的，一个人住的最多。
Yeah, we almost half, yeah. And I think because I think I don't know, maybe I think Taiwan must be similar. Like in Korea, people don't marry anymore. Because marriage is out of fashion. No, I'm kidding, but people live by themselves. They don't forming a family anymore. When they are not just 20 or 30, they're 40 and 50. They don't. They live by themselves. The single household is getting popular. So that problem is a single household. Living in single is always dealing with loneliness. Loneliness is a big problem. So, and then this is like a very popular webtoon in Korea. It's about they are living very small dormitory, and they don't know each other, and he's the killer, and he's killing every one of them. Anyway, so like loneliness is a big problem. And then in the environment side, our urban development is very unsustainable, because this developer building apartment block, they set it off, and they don't care about how to maintain, how to use. the building, because once they sell, and then there is no responsible anymore. So they don't care about energy use, and they don't care about how the building actually is used. So it's unsustainable, is also a big problem. So I propose, because all these things is about developers not working with the user and the customer. They always a lose-win situation, and I make money, I lose money. Why? It's like a gentrification problem. The building owner, he wins, and then original people who create the value in that street, they lose. This is always win-lose situation. And also developer, they make money, but in city, as a whole, we lose environmental and very unsustainable condition. So win-lose. And community as well. Community, there's no relationship. So yeah. So I think the solution, we need to find some kind of solution with this new technology, with this how the atom bit merging. We have this incredible tools, new tools, right? New tools like IoT, blockchain, AI, and kind of new tool. We have this new technology to using this technology to dealing with our problem. So I suggest like a user and building capital company to collaborate, making collaborate situation, win-win situation to make positive some building or city. So we can go back to the ones 르코르뷔지에 said 1923. So almost 100 years ago, he said modern life demands new kind of plan. So after 100 years after 2023, 100 years after, and we have our 2023 life demands new kind of plan for the both house and the city. So house is machine for living in 1923, and now housing for common is intelligent machine for living in 2023, right? So that's my topic for you guys to working for next 10 days. Yeah? Is that clear? Yeah. So I rephrase this quote, a house is machine for living in, to this. A housing for common is like co-living. Like a co-living is like share housing. Co-living is with intelligent machine. Because machine, we redefine the machine, right? Machine can be intelligent. Machine, because a machine 100 years ago, machine is like very mechanical. Yeah? There's no data, right? And now in year 2019, our machine is have IoT and connected internet and can be robotics and AI and everything. So using our latest technology, we create future housing for commons for 2023. In near future, not like 2043 is only 4 years old. So if you think about this, and then we can change something in 2023.
It's really soon.
It's the same. So it's, yeah. So in near future, we develop this using this new technology to redefine our single household. So also, so there will be no site. It's a developing prototype, like Corbusier's did for his domino prototype, right? So no site, but you develop the prototype. But I give you the size, number of people who live in this housing is 100 people. 100 single people living in one building. One building, one actual building, I don't know. But one building, 100 people, single, like you, right? Like a co-living, it creates some kind of community, right? And how to, because 100 people, now we have this apartment typology, current typology. We have 100 rooms, and then we have a shared lobby. That's it. Yeah, that's the what we have currently. But there's no community. There's no nothing going on, and then just stacking each other. But I want these 100 people collaborate each other, make a relationship, right, with the next room, not killing other people, like the webtoon, but working with, know each other. Maybe you guys, you can make within the community, you can develop future business together. Like you can emerge startups, or even you can make a new boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And so this community can be benefit each other, and so 100 people living together is not just stacking, but becomes emerging some kind of value from this housing. So, which I call positive sum housing. Right? And that using can be adaptable. Can be the wall can be opens up, and room can be doubles up, can shrink. I don't know, using robotics and smartphone app, or machine learning. So think about it. Right? So that's the only requirement. 100 single, and then presentation. When you do presentation, I ask you 1 minute and 30 second animation. Long, 1 minute and 30 second long animation for show your concept, like the storytelling. What is your idea? So I show you the example, right? The project I show you for the Venice Biennale, and which the trailer is 1 minute and 30 seconds long. So it's like that. It's that kind of thing. So show your idea within the trailer. So that trailer is a concept animation to, I think, I want that trailer to exhibit at the exhibition. All team have this trailer, and this trailer all goes to the SNS website. So we show your work, not just the exhibition space, but also to the internet and SNS. And I also you can because everybody have a different skill. So the traditional way of exhibition is making the panel and the model. Yeah? I don't mind you to use panel or model, but you can always to replace model to AR or VR. You can always do that. I open source, but you need either physical model or AR model. Also the panel, you can make a A1 size panel as a conventional way of show your idea. But also you can use, because you have a projector, so you can always use other way of showing your idea. VR, whatever. It opens up. Yeah. So that is the. I think is there anything more?
Maybe I can discuss with